We do it all.
Wow.
So personal injury can be really anything where you've been hurt and it's not your fault.
Okay.
Okay. So that can be anything from a car crash
Sure.
to something called wrongful death.
Wow.
Maybe you're killed in a car crash or killed in some other way.
Okay.
Workers' compensation.
Sure.
Dog bites, slipping and falling while you're at the mall shopping. Any one of those things can be an area of personal injury, and we do it all.
Okay.
Oh, I got licensed in 2004.
Wow.
So about 18 years.
18 years.
Almost 19.
Okay.
Well, I started out thinking I'd be a patent lawyer.
Okay.
All right. I thought I'd go into patents, but I
Okay.
took a job at a law firm that did injury law,
Okay.
and I found out I loved it
Wow.
because I got to work with people.
Sure.
I got to help them get the money that they deserve, and I mean, I know we'll talk about money in a little bit.
Sure.
That's where my heart's at. Is I like to help people, help them solve problems,
Okay.
help them figure out, okay, this happened to me. Now what do I do? Because we're up against a lot of deep pockets, a lot of people with a lot of money
Of course.
who
Of course.
don't want to see my clients get what they deserve.
Sure.
So that's why I stick with it. That's why I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What I could add to that is we only help the people.
The
Okay?
people.
We only help, it's called plaintiffs.
Okay.
Right? That's the legal word.
Yes, sir.
But it's the people who have been hurt.
Okay.
We don't work for insurance companies. We don't work for banks.
Wow.
We help people. Yeah, I mean, it's let's take a car crash.
Sure.
For example. Okay, that's probably the most common case
Yes,
that
sir.
we have is a car crash.
Sure.
So you get hurt in a car crash, and there's two parts to every car crash claim.
Yes, sir.
All right, there's what we call property damage.
Okay.
That's your car and everything in it. All right, so that's one thing.
Okay.
And then there's the other side that's called the bodily injury. That's all of your
Bodily
injuries. Yeah. It can be physical injuries, mental injuries, emotional injuries, you name it. Head to toe, any kind of injury falls into that injury claim.
Sure.
So a lot of people say that they start working on the car part,
Yes, sir.
right? Because you go without a car for a day or two and you're freaking out.
That's
right?
correct. That's
So,
correct.
so you have a car, it's crashed, it needs to be fixed, or it's a total loss.
Okay.
It's not going to be fixed. It costs more to fix it than it's worth.
Yes.
So that's one side of it, but it only deals with the car.
Okay.
Okay, so they'll either fix it or pay to replace it.
Yes.
All right, and we kind of help with that too,
Okay.
trying to get people the full amount that they would be entitled to.
Okay.
Okay, so we help them with that.
Sure.
Where we really focus is the injury side. Okay, and that's where it can get complicated. All right, because you have multiple insurance companies involved. Like, maybe take you for example.
Sure.
You have health insurance.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's say you go to your doctor,
Okay.
they bill health insurance.
Sure.
Well, when it's somebody else's fault, your health insurance says we want our money back. Okay, if you had run your car to a tree and it's your fault, they'll just pay your bills and nothing happens.
Okay.
Okay, well, because it's somebody else's fault, they say we want our money back. So we help them figure that out. Some people don't have health insurance.
Right.
Excuse me. Some people have what's called medical payments coverage.
Okay.
And that's through your automobile insurance.
Sure.
So we help people navigate that too. So now we're up to two different insurance companies to deal with. Add a third one, which is the person who hit you, add in their insurance, and their sole job is to get you to settle your case for as cheaply as possible.
Okay.
Because you're fighting against them, and maybe add a fourth insurance.
Okay.
If you're talking about your own car insurance.
Huh.
So you can see where it's not just I got in a wreck
Yes.
and I need to figure out what to do. There could be multiple layers of things involved, and it gets overwhelming. So that's what we do, is we help people sort that out. So we're completely 100% transparent.
Transparent.
With how we do things.
Okay.
From the moment we meet with a client, we have them sign a fee agreement,
Yes.
which officially hires us.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
We do get paid for what we do, but here's how we get paid.
Yes, sir.
We don't get paid by the hour.
Okay.
We don't send our clients a bill every month and say, pay your bill.
Sure.
We don't do retainers,
Hmm.
okay, which means you pay a lawyer a bunch of money and then they bill against it as they're working on the case.
Okay.
Okay, and we don't do flat fees. We do something called contingency fee.
And can you explain that contingency?
Of course, yeah. So contingency means we are saying you have a case and we're going to take a risk on your case because you're not going to pay us unless we get you money.
Okay, I understand that.
So we talked about money a little bit a few minutes ago, but that's the risk we're taking
Yes.
by saying, hey, we're not going to charge you anything.
Wow.
If we win, if we get you money, we get a percentage of that.
Now, is that an industry standard or is that just with cave law?
I don't know industry-wide. It's pretty typical with
Okay.
injury cases, and I think the main reason for that is there's a lot of people who get hurt and are off work
Sure.
for weeks or months at a time.
And they don't have the money to retain someone.
The last thing you want is a bill from the lawyer
Sure.
while you're trying to get money.
Okay.
Okay, so that's pretty typical and why it's done that. But there's zero risk to the person
Sure.
because we wouldn't say, hey, we took your case, we didn't get you any money, but you owe us anyway. Now, costs are a little bit different.
Okay.
We do bill for costs,
Yes.
but we pay them as we go and we get paid back later
Okay.
when the case sells.
So I don't have to send you a check
No,
while I'm going through this process. You're handling all of that
that's right.
and you bill later on the back end when we win the case.
That's exactly right. And you get a little statement from us that says, here's how much came in, here's how much we're getting paid, here's how much the costs were.
Yes.
So you see it all right there. And along the way, every month, if we're spending money on your case,
Yes.
we're sending you a statement so that you know,
Exactly
okay,
how
hey,
much?
yeah, maybe these costs are out of control.
Sure.
We need to talk, right? And what does this mean? Why'd you spend $200 on this?
Yes.
Yeah. No, just the costs, okay? Just the costs, but no attorney's fees.
No attorney's
No,
fees.
no attorney's fees. All right?
Wow.
So that's the risk. That's what we're doing. That's what we're saying is, hey, we think you have a legitimate case. We're willing to take a chance, represent you, and we'll do the work. Because we believe in the case.
Okay.
So ultimately, where that really happens is if it goes to trial and we don't win.
Sure.
It doesn't happen a lot,
Okay.
but that's when it would happen.
Okay.
And going to trial is expensive.
Sure.
Okay, no matter how you slice it, it's expensive.
Exactly.
But that's the example I can think of. And we didn't get you the money, so what else? Yeah, I'd say probably 95% of all cases
Settle.
settle. Hard to say. Here's what we bring to that, and they've actually done studies on this.
Okay.
Hiring a lawyer can get you 5 to 10 times more in your pocket than what a person who handles a case on their own can
Amazing.
get. Okay.
Amazing.
So if you were to say, hey, if I try to handle a case on my own, is it going to settle? Probably, but for what? Absolutely. I think that it's real important whether you hire a lawyer or whether you hire us, that you know what you're getting into.
Okay.
Okay, that you know what you're up against,
Sure.
that you know there's so many different things going on.
Sure.
Just one little area could have 15 different questions or concerns
Okay.
or whatever.
Okay.
So that's what I want I want people to feel like they're getting something out of this, that, hey, I can walk out of here and say, I feel good about knowing more,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
And then we're going to, like you said, we're going to keep doing these
Keep doing
to,
it.
to answer more questions.